All right, time for another live stream. Yeah, I wasn't expecting an update of Ableton Move today. And it's funny because I just updated to, what was it, 12.1 just a few days ago, but I hadn't realized it had been out for that long. And yeah, today was a surprise because the last one was just a bug fix, basically, or bug fixes, and they mentioned that one. They usually do a few other things that they don't mention, but this time there's actually some new features, and I want to look at those. I've been playing around with it a little bit today and trying to get a few things to work, and yeah, so I can share what I learned and save you some work if you're trying to get this working. So the first big thing is the sampling audio via USB-C. So it used to be you had to use this the connection here, which is just the 1/8 inch connection, and it was dependent on your cables. It was dependent on, you had to plug it in, have an extra input on your audio interface, whatever. Yeah, so it was more work, and now you can actually do it straight through USB-C, which is here. And it took me a little bit of time to figure out how, just to get the audio out of Ableton into it. So I just want to load up, might even just load this track I'm working on. And so this is what we're listening to here. And I'm trying to figure out, just for a test, we'll just send the whole thing over here. So the way I found to do this, the easiest way, is we go to settings here, and then the output over here. Right now I have multi-output device because I've got it set, so it's sending Ableton. Anyways, it's for the recording for OBS. But if I go here and I choose Ableton Move Audio, the weird thing is, I'm hoping you can still hear me. Yeah, you can. And if I play this here now, I'm just going to take this out because I think it does need to be out. Okay, so I lied. So why is this not working? The way I got it to work earlier, oh yeah, that's what we have to do. So I'm just going to go to an extra set here, go to record mode. That's where we should be able to hear it. We might have to unplug this, but oh yeah. And then, so you go here and you've got the different modes. It's sort of weird because they just pop up. I'll just show you the on Ableton Move. They just pop up really quickly. So it makes you think that it's not like choosing whatever you have. But anyways, so we want USB-C. And as you can tell, you might be able to hear when we do this. I want to see what happens if we leave this plugged in. Yeah. Okay, I was just confirming that if this is plugged in, you won't hear it on the speakers. But as soon as you go into the USB-C mode and you're playing whatever, you can't hear very well, but the Ableton Move, it's coming out of the Ableton Move speakers anyways. So it's recording. So we can just go and record a couple of these pads. So now if we go back to it, we'll just do the... Okay, so you can't hear it. What I'm going to do here is plug this back in. So that's what we just recorded out of Ableton Live into there. You could record from anything, really, if you have... I could see it be And what I just did here, I'm actually going to be talking about that later to stop that sample from playing. They made it a lot easier now. But you could, if you're using a standalone synth or something like that on your computer, it's a good way to get that audio into there. And like I said, you're not dealing with the connections and whatever. It's just as soon as it's plugged in, it's going straight to that. As you notice, it was really easy to get something straight out of Ableton Live. So, or anything, like any audio coming out of your computer will be the same thing. You can do it with your phone, and that's where it gets complicated. I just want to look at some of this here. Yeah, the phone I wasn't able to get working. And they mentioned in the knowledge base here that, so there's a few things in here. So this is a sampling, and then this is a part here. I tried with an Android phone and I tried with an iPad, and both did the same thing. As soon as I hit play, the audio would just keep playing on the phone, but it wouldn't be sending into here. So I have to work on that a little bit more. But basically, for the iPad, I think I know what the issue is. They say the Lightning to USB-C cable is not supported. I tried that. I was hoping my wife had a Lightning or a USB-A, like the old USB, to Lightning, and then I had an adapter that was USB-A to USB-C, and I was hoping that might work. But anyways, technically, they say it runs as a client device, and both of them are clients. So to switch it, you need one of these adapters. It's not just one of the little cheap adapters, like it's a $30 thingy where, yeah, so you need one of these or one of these, which I believe will let you do the power at the same time. But anyways, so yeah, if you have that, it might work. But yeah, I wasn't able to get the phone thing working. I don't know how much I'd use the phone because, like, I think if I was doing stuff with the phone, I'd just transfer the files over anyways as a sample in Move Manager. So, but I do like having, yeah, the computer access to it. So I'm going to work on this and getting that working. And yeah, I'll do another live stream or video about it at some point once I get this working. If you have any idea on, like, if you were able to get this to work today, let me know either in the live chat if you're here right now, or if you're watching the replay in the comments, and I'm going to be reading that and trying to figure that out. But yeah, for the computer, it works very well. So we'll go back here. So that's a sampling audio via USB-C. So that's a very nice new feature. The next feature is probably my favorite one because I was waiting for this. One of the things where if we have, I'm just going to choose this set here. It used to be if you wanted to hear just the drums, you would have to go here and you mute this one and then mute this one and mute this one. And then you'd have just the drums, and then you'd have to go and unmute each one. So they brought in, and it just seemed natural. And I think I might have mentioned this in one of the live streams at the beginning, that it would be nice to have solo and set up exactly that way, where if you hit the mute button and shift, these three dots here is shift. So let me just, so yeah, this is shift here. So what you're able to do now is if you want to solo, you just hit shift mute and whichever track. So we'll just hit play. If you want to hear just the bass line, this one is, there we go. Or just the drums. And then you hit it again if you want to unsolo. So that's so nice to have. It seems like just a simple thing, but it was really annoying to go mute everything every time you wanted to hear something. And like, it's important to be able to solo stuff, because if you're working on this bass line and you want to adjust the filter, like, you can't, there's some stuff you can do with stuff in the background, but it's nice to be able to have stuff soloed if you're looking at like the tiny details before you put it into your track and have it with the whole thing. So that's a beautiful feature to have. I'm so happy about that one. The longer entries in the browser. This is really useful, and I haven't tested it out yet, so I'm going to do that right now. I know I have... Actually, you know what? I sort of like what I was working on here, so I'm just going to do a copy of it. So if I mess anything up, we're just messing up the copy. So yeah, what I want to do is go here, and I have some loaded presets here. So we're going to see if it works. There we go. Oh, here, I'll make it bigger. So you can tell this one here, as soon as we go to it, it just scrolls over. So yeah, it doesn't just cut off there and you're stuck guessing what the rest of that line is. So yeah, this is just a temporary one. And like this says nothing, but then as it goes, you're able to tell, okay, delete anytime, whatever, I can delete this one. So yeah, that's a very nice feature that I never realized that we needed, and we really did. We really did need it. All right. What else do we have here? When used as an audio interface, Move now defaults to outputting its internal microphone. Now, that's a little bit of what we were dealing with earlier, where it was playing, from what I understand, from like, I've had issues in the past where you had to plug something in here when you were doing specific things just to mute the microphone, and it was sort of annoying. Now it looks like you're able to just to mute the speakers. Yeah. But it looks like you're able to, and I think I noticed it in here. Yeah, the USB-C audio, you can have, mic or main out. I believe this is what we're dealing with, the output. So earlier when we were sending audio into it from Ableton Live, it went automatically to the speakers. We can set it so it'll go here, I believe. And the only thing is, when you set it to go here, it disables the speaker as soon as you have something plugged in here. So you're not able to have your power plugged in anymore and have the speakers if you have it on that mode, but you can just go in and switch it out. So anyways, yeah, that seems to be what this does. If it's not, yeah, let me know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Move now sends out Polyphonic aftertouch when it's set to MIDI out to let you play expressively on external hardware. So that's really nice to have. I hadn't realized that it didn't have that built in because I don't use a whole bunch of external stuff. I do occasionally. I want to try using this a little bit more, but anyways, yeah. So the aftertouch will work on MIDI out, not just on Ableton Move. That sounds like a very useful thing for a whole lot of people. And a wider selection of presets is now used when creating a set. This I noticed right away because I tend to use the same types of kits a lot of the time because of the type of music I make, which is deep house, but mostly deep house, a little bit of Afro house lately. But anyways, so yeah, so I was getting, I don't know if it's I think it's a good thing because a lot of the time it was bringing back the same types of sounds, and I'm assuming it just wasn't choosing from everything. Maybe they just had a few in there. But I did notice today that it was a little bit tougher to get the sound I was looking for right away because there was, a wider selection. So it is a good thing, but today it was less useful for me. Because let's just go. I finally filled this up completely. So what is that? 64? 32? Okay, it's been a long day. 32? Yeah, I think 32 sets, right? That's 8 times 4. And yeah, so I finally filled it up today, and I was like, I'm just going to download everything through Move Manager and start over. And that's what I did. So that's why this is all empty. And And yeah, what was I? The water selection. Yeah, so if we just choose one of these at random, chances are, actually these sounds are pretty good, but I was noticing it was tougher to get more like house music type kits like right away. You can still go and you can just choose you can go choose your kit here, and a lot of the time I just end up on the 909 kit right here. But it did have more variety, which I think is a good thing, especially, it'll make our tracks sounding different from one another. But yeah, today it was tough to get a quick, just even the kick that I was looking for, because it was going through all different types of music. But then again, that's because the way I use it is for house music. Somebody else is using it, and a lot of people are using it for hip hop and trap and whatever. So and all kinds of other music. So it is nice to have that variety. I didn't notice these being super different because I hadn't noticed these being very similar, but I did notice that it does seem to choose more from more drum kits. So that's sort of nice as well. And the Ableton, the uploads to Ableton Cloud are now faster, and I haven't used it enough to realize that it was slow, but that does sound like a very good thing. And yeah, the triggered one-shot samples. Yeah, that's the thing I was mentioning earlier, where if we have, where was it? Was it here that I think it was here that we had, or here? I don't even remember where we put this, these samples that we did earlier. Okay, well, anyways, yeah, where we took the music, it's got to be over here somewhere, right? I was sure it was there. But anyways, so it used to be that if you were playing a sample and it was longer, you'd hit stop, everything would stop, that sample would keep going. And especially in this case, you're able to record, I think it's a 3-minute sample on each pad, 3 or 4 minutes. So like that could be a long time to go through. So now as soon as you hit stop, whichever sample it is, even if it's a long sample, it will stop playing. So that's a very nice addition on there. And yeah, I could see that being really annoying if you're using really long samples. I don't generally use long samples because if I do, I'll be chopping it up. Like I may take a long sample, like a long vocal sample, and just chop up little parts of it. But yeah, if you're using long samples regularly, that will make a huge difference. So yeah, those are the updates. And yeah, I think it'll be useful to have. I've been loving how Ableton Move deals with updates, where if you're connected to Wi-Fi, and that's why, like, I was traveling and didn't have, I hadn't connected it to Wi-Fi because it didn't matter, right? And when I got back, as soon as I went on, it told me that this new version was there. But it's sort of nice that if you're not on Wi-Fi, it won't give you a hassle. As soon as you're on Wi-Fi and there is an update, you don't even need to check it. As soon as you turn it on, it says press the wheel to update, and it updates right away. I love that. It just makes it so easy and so quick. And I'm assuming if you don't, I always update like right away. It doesn't take long anyways. But I'm assuming if you needed to use Move right away and you don't want to update right away, you can just, hit, I'm assuming this here or like this back button, or basically the undo button, and just basically escape out of it. Go do whatever you want to, and then you can go back in here and update from here. So, yeah, that's nice to have. I'm glad they made that easy, and yeah, so that's Move 1.3.0, and they've been pretty good at these updates. There's a few things I noticed that I don't remember seeing on here, so I'm wondering if they're doing little updates that they don't mention. One of them is even this brightness. It might have always been there, the high and max, and I don't know. It must have always been there, but I don't remember seeing that. I don't remember seeing anything under advanced, but yeah, it seems like there's little bits and pieces that have been added here and there that we haven't really noticed. So it may just be me that, that didn't notice, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So anyways, we're back in the swing of things. I had some family stuff going on, and yeah, wasn't able to be over here for a few weeks, and yeah, basically death of in the family of a very close family member. So yeah, it's been a tough few weeks, but yeah, we're getting back into it. I recorded a video today about the Ableton Move, which I hope will be out next week. I was hoping this week, but then I saw this. I was like, okay, let's do this one first. We'll do the other one. I have one about Serum that's coming soon, and yeah, a whole bunch of other ones that are planned, but basically those are the two that have been sort of pressing that I keep moving back. So anyways, hopefully we'll be back to normal soon enough. And well, no, we're back to normal now. So I'll go back to the live stream or a video that I'm trying every week. So yeah, anyways, hopefully that can help you out, and definitely get that update. And if there's anything that I missed that you find really interesting in this update, or anything that they've added recently that we might not have noticed, make sure you feel free to let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.